We are going to be talking about is how to figure out what your high ticket offer should be. You've been to live events in the past. There's a lot of different things that get offered. And I'm going to give you a quick story, a quick example of what one of our clients did going into a live event, what they were expecting, and then how they pivoted in order to make it make sense. About a year and a half ago, we had a client come on board and their goal was to have 150 people at their live event. And they thought without hesitation, they could do 150 people at their live event. Well, about 3 weeks prior to their live event, and it is a good story. About 3 weeks prior to their live event, they only had 40 people coming. And they were thinking about canceling their live event. There is a cancellation clause, which essentially means if you cancel your live event, you are going to owe the hotel money, and typically not a small amount of money. So we talked with them and we said, you know what, you were going to be offering a program that was going to be around $15,000 to $20,000 with limited involvement from you, more of a group style program, mastermind style program. Is there anything that we could do to shift that model a little bit and offer a more high ticket with help on the implementation side of things?
Like you could have lots of liability and pay cancellation fee, or you could have opportunity. We could pivot and create a new high ticket offer. And the benefit of that is that you're going to make money instead of lose money on this live event.
And they wound up in a situation where...
How many people did they have at the end of the
40.
day? 40.
40
like
people.
42 people.
And they sold a $40,000 program that included a lot of implementation. Meaning they
like a
actually,
lot of done for you.
Yeah, this was a little less done for you, a little more done with you. But because they were willing to do it, and they went through this process that Barry's going to walk you through in a minute, and because they had more time and less people to fulfill for, they were able to do a much more done for you product. And they wound up generating... It was over $500,000 in sales.
$500,000 with a room of 42 people.
Yeah, they had like 12 people who enrolled in a $40,000 program.
Which similarly, we just had a client who had a 120 person event, only 62 buying units. They sold a $30,000 high ticket offer and made about $720,000. So I'd love to use these stories because so often we get caught up in rooms of 4,500 people, rooms of 1,000 people. I've got to have a big room or this won't work. And I so don't believe that. It is important to put people in a room. This is the live event model, but it doesn't have to be a big room. It doesn't have to be a huge number of people.
Well, and the interesting thing about what you said is you don't believe it. It's not about belief either. It just isn't true. You don't have to believe it or not. It's just not accurate. You don't need a lot of people in a room to make a good amount of money with the live event model.
So here's what you do need. Do you want me to tell them?
Yes.
All right. What you do need is to be super clear on your big why. What's the reason you're doing this, and not the event? Like, what's the reason you're in this business in general? So your big why, and then who is the person that you're meant to serve? That's right here. And I think of that avatar, and this is for you if, this is not for you if. If you can get clear on who the program is not for, sometimes it's easier to do that. Start there and then get clear on who it is for. It's equally critical, because here's the thing. Some people in your room are not your perfect buyer. Some people in your room are not your perfect avatar, and that's okay. You're selling to the people who are. You've designed the high ticket offer for the people who are. So it's your big why, because if it doesn't motivate you, why bother? And then for it's your perfect avatar. If it doesn't motivate them, why bother? So that's the first part of the axis. That's the vertical. Then the horizontal is your non-negotiables. If you design a high ticket offer that includes things that you are going to resent doing, you are not going to have a good time doing it. If you're not having a good time doing it, trust me, your avatar is going to feel that. It's not going to be a successful program. What goes on the other side of this axis is what makes my avatar wildly successful. The difference between my non-negotiables are and what makes my avatar wildly successful is gap analysis right here in the middle. Because sometimes what would make them hugely successful is one of your non-negotiable. What would make them super successful is if I did one-to-one coaching, but I'm not willing to do one-to-one coaching. So the gap I have to fill is those two things. They need one-to-one coaching. I'm not willing to do it. I must hire a coach who will do one-to-one coaching and then train them in my method. So that's just a very simple example. But if you can map this axis out, you can really figure out what you're going to offer in your high ticket program and who you're going to offer it for.